Hey, my lovely crew. Welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, and this is for all my lovely family, my crew members, the subscribers, and also for those of you that are quite new to my channel. Hello, you are welcomed, you are loved, and you're accepted for who you really are. This is a place of comfort and escapism and safety and imagination, and I'm really, really honored that you decided to join me here. So I know the situation outside in society is a bit crazy. Saturn in Aquarius is in full blown, separating us from social groups, separating us from one another. But the opposite of Saturn in Aquarius is Leo. And what is Leo about? Leo energy is about the heart. It's about sexuality, self-expression, creativity, imagination, and just showing the world who you really are, right? So I thought of doing a video that hopefully can entertain you during the situation of lockdown. I know my city today has gone into complete quarantine and there are military people on the street, which is a bit mad, but hey, they have to earn a living, right? But anyway, stay safe, stay protected, and stay at home. And if you're at home and if you're watching this, yes, you make my heart sing. So I just thought I would entertain you tonight by reading some parts from my novel. This is a twin flame romance novel that I wrote and I began writing in 2012, mostly as a dream diary that I kept, where I was analyzing my relationship with a guy I thought who was my soulmate, but he turned out to be not, to put it politely. And then it was amplified by the fact that I met someone I considered to be my twin flame last year. But publishing and writing this novel is actually my goodbye note to him. So this novel is a love note to him and also a goodbye note all in one, because I decided to give up on my twin flame connection since I don't want to focus on it anymore. I just want to go on my dharmic path. Part of my dharmic path is growing this channel with you and helping you guys. Okay, so I'm just going to try to get you to dream a little bit. I'll read some excerpts from the Storyteller, and in order for you guys to have something beautiful to look at while I'm reading, I'm going to show tarot cards that show love. Okay, so I'll be showing the Two of Cups and the Lovers from my various really gorgeous tarot and tarot decks that I have here. I wanted to say oracle decks, but oracle decks don't have like Two of Cups and the Lover cards. They have all other beautiful cards. Anyway, stop being a nerd, Alexandra. So yeah, I'll just begin. My voice is quite soft. I tried to pull the camera closer to me so you guys can hear me, but this might work as an ASMR video for those of you that really enjoy that kind of thing. If you don't like the fact that my voice is very soft and gentle, then I'm not for you. Why are you here? Please go and look at the channel of somebody else that is more stronger spoken. Yeah, I'm not that kind of person. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'll just continue doing this, okay? The Storyteller. The story begins with the end, and it ends with the beginning. I wanted it to, that was a conscious choice. I wanted it to be done in this way. And I wanted to create first an atmosphere in which I ease you into it, and then the story can move forward, okay? So I'll just begin reading, okay? This is the Two of Cups from the Rider-Waite Tarot. This is it. You're finally here. You have arrived. Take your coat off, sit down, and put your feet up. Relax. Let me hold you. I'm going to tell you a story. Listen carefully. Look for clues. There will be wonders happening above, over, and around you. So that's how the story begins. It's a fragmented love story, so it's not really following the flow of a traditional novel. It has parts that could be read at whichever point you want them to, and they also jump across time, so it's past, present, and future blended into one. So I'll continue now with the next passage. This is from A Presence Like None Other. And this is the Lovers. Saturday morning, I got woken up by a loud knock on my door. I rushed to open it, bagel still in mouth, coffee cup busily cupped to my chest. And as I did, I got smacked on the forehead by a rambling dandelion. James was behind a huge bouquet of flowers, threatening to throw themselves at the mercy of my rug. I smiled, and the bagel dropped on his flip-flopped feet, carrying some petals with it, to which he sarcastically replied, "Thanks, but I already had my breakfast." I laughed out loud and added, "Oh, this is crazy, just like your shirt. What is happening here?" And I pointed at the funky pattern on display in front of me. He was dressed in white short pants and a blue shirt with white flowers on it. He looked like a Hawaiian postcard. He cleared his throat and added, "Grab your bags, we're going to the beach. Oh yeah, and hold these flowers for me, will you?" He handed me the bouquet of gorgeous yellow and black tulips he brought. I laughed and enthusiastically rushed to the bedroom to change. As I was doing this, James stepped into the flat, wiped his forehead with his arm, leaned on the front door, and happily exhaled. From time to time, the novel has a lot of poems sprinkled throughout, which shows how the relationship is developing from a psychological perspective between the four characters, Sasha, Lou, Lucy, and James. So from the chapter called Heartbreak Haikus, this is the Lover's card. 1,000 pieces of him scattered. I tread like Isis looking for lost limbs to piece him back together again, in a form that rejuvenates my heart and brings me back to life. I live through him for myself. So that was one kind of poem. Again, the Lover's card from the Dreaming Way Tarot. A post-it on my unmade bed this morning. I would love to have you here, to be next to you, to talk to you, to comfort you. I would love to hold your hand and take fast-paced walks with you in the cold Scottish air, to kiss you and spend nights with you over countless glasses of wine. I would love to have you stare at me as if you're trying to take a picture with your beautiful eyes, to have you inside of me, to breathe at the same time with you, to find the paradise within, accompanied by you. And yet the only thing that is constant about me is that I change. I'm fickle, and now the present is changing with me, catching up, closing in, as you slowly drift away from the seeing world. In another chapter of the book, the story kind of evolves to more action. So we have here the love card. It was a dry, hot summer night. The house was filled with light. The windows were opened towards the garden where fireflies swarmed through wild and unkept bushes. We were lying on the grass under a dark sky. Our toes click-clacked the veneer of a couple of wine glasses. We were partially drunk and kissing. My body wrapped in one breezy cotton dress, him in short pants and a white shirt. We were so happy it felt as if warm light was glowing out of our pores. I rested my face on his right cheek. We stayed there for a while, breathing in the same rhythm. He turned to look at me and softly kissed me as my head was lying in the grass. I could smell the slow releasing freshness of the vegetation around us. The heat of the day was being cooled off in the shadow of the night. His face was beautifully lit by a feeling. He smiled and dizzily sunk his cheeks into my hair. I smiled and pulled him closer to me in an embrace. "Is this cuddling?" I said. "I'm not sure. This is just good," he replied, and then he bit the top of my ear. I made a small sound, turned over and grabbed my glass in a swift movement. He copied my movements and briskly reached the top of the glass with his lips. We drank from the cup together, laughing like idiots and placing our faces closer into each other. Drunk on life and love, I whispered, "You make me so happy," to which he replied, "I want to make you moan." I crossed my arms around his shoulder and clung to his warm body as he was pulling mine up. And then our dream burst into the mundane. To be loved in this way, completely. To be desired in such a way, fervently. For now, I put my fantasies to rest. So most of the reflections that you read in the book are coming from the main character, Sasha. The characters have some gender pronouns spread throughout the book, but they're meant to be quite vague so that you can project your own imagination onto the book and basically utilize it as it serves you. So if you are in a same-sex relationship, feel free to reply he, she, and they, however you find suitable. The book was meant to be vague in order to apply to a variety of different people. And finally, I want to leave you with this paragraph in which we get a little bit into what James, the male counterpart in this connection, is thinking. James put his head on his therapist's couch and closed his eyes. He sighed, covering his eyes with one arm, and then he started speaking as if in a trance. I was in a big house with lots of rooms, which I shared with 12 other people, young and creative folk. It was some sort of hippie commune, or German WG. That day, something happened, and one of our flatmates rushed through the door to let us know that we are in danger. All I remember was that we had to pack everything and run, because this thing outside of us was preparing to engulf us. I tried to put a lot of my personal objects into a small suitcase, but I was very worried I wouldn't be able to finish. So I was left behind because by the time I finished packing, everyone had left. But someone pulled my hand and we managed to run away. I didn't know who it was, and I wasn't able to see the person's face. Once outside of the house, a neighbor that was very calm said that we should listen to the radio. The radio announced that we were outside of danger. Both of us breathed huge sighs of relief that this mysterious danger had nearly evaporated. Excited once again about being alive, we wanted to run and tell the others. But as we were walking up the hill, I could see a great wave in the distance. It was a dense and frothing wave of lava covering everything in its path. Strangely, people were running towards it rather than away from it. Again frightened, we realized that we didn't have time to run as the lava was spreading fast, so all we could do was climb up a building. To the right of us on the street, we noticed the dilapidated skeleton of a building, so we climbed it. We knew that this building won't resist and that the lava would cover it and it will eventually crumble to the ground. Overcome by hopelessness, I tried not to despair. In the dark corner of the building, the most protective one we could find, my person lit a candle and pulled me in close. I could see her now. It was Lucy, and we kissed. Okay guys, so those were some fragments from my novel, The Storyteller. It's my first fiction novel. It's an imperfect creation, but a creation nonetheless, and I feel very emotionally connected to it. I feel that when I released it into the world for you guys to enjoy, I said goodbye to my past, to a lot of the romantic situations that I've been going through, and that inspired a lot of the thoughts, the scenery, and kind of the way the characters are behaving with each other. So yeah, as I said, feel free to order it if you would like. If you don't want it, if you don't like it, that's also fine. This video is meant to be for someone out there and yeah, that needs some comfort, that enjoys storytelling and enjoys the act of reading. And yeah guys, so I just want you to know that you are protected during these times, okay? Don't give in to fear, go towards love. This too shall pass. We've been through worse, our ancestors have been through worse, and whatever happens, you know, choose love and choose self-love as well. Yeah, I love you guys. Take care and see you tomorrow for a really, really sexy and romantic pick a card reading.